What's up, guys? It's John and Ken. Welcome to another episode of our Speakeasy podcast.
What's going on?
What is up?
How are you?
I am good. Sipping on a bourbon, feeling happy.
Sipping on gin and juice.
Rolling down the street, smoking,
Endo.
sipping on gin and juice.
Sipping on Elijah Craig.
And we're just laid back right now with our mind on our money and our money on our minds.
Look at you with the Elijah Craig.
Yeah, we had Elijah on a few episodes ago, I
A
guess.
month ago, maybe?
Yeah, something like that.
But we had that good batch.
The C923, yep.
Yeah, the C3PO.
The C3PO. And today we have, this is actually a single barrel, private barrel, but it is a small batch, though, which is interesting because I've seen the Elijah Craig single barrel, like kind of barrel proofs.
Yeah.
I haven't seen these ones that say single barrel and it's small batch, so it's a little confusing here. And this one was a store pick. I picked it up at 52nd Liquors in Liberty, New York, where near where my house on the lake is, and he had these, and it was going for $30-something, so nothing too crazy, not breaking the bank.
How could a single barrel small batch be like cheaper than a regular?
I don't know.
You would think that'd be more sought after.
It's really confusing to me, though, because I know that Elijah Craig has a tendency to run out of bottles and just print things on other bottles, you know? That's what caught my eye, though. I'm like, it's a single barrel. I mean,
and it was made in 1789. I mean,
it was made in 1789.
It's been distilling fermenting for a
very
long
long time. Yes, it's a 200-something year, whatever. But this one is like, but it's got all the whatever small batch numbers though.
Yeah.
It's an 8-year, 94 proof, 47% alcohol. They said this one was picked by staff, hand-selected by staff. So I'm assuming that means
staff of the distillery
of Heaven Hill. Yeah, someone over there. I don't know. Rickhouse H1, floor 4. But you know what? We do all types of, regardless, we do all types of bourbon on the show. Some of them, you know, they range from Old Granddad to some pretty decent liquid. And actually, I shouldn't say pretty, that because it's more expensive means it's more decent, you know, because some of these younger bourbons, even this is not young, this is 8 years. So I think it's a great bang for your buck, though. For 8 years.
Hell yeah.
An Elijah Craig. And like I said, I paid a 30-something bucks. It wasn't like, you know, breaking the bank here. And I said, let's get this one on here
Why
today.
don't you ask them tomorrow?
Ask
the staff.
Oh, yes, because we are going to Kentucky tomorrow.
We'll be there tomorrow.
Yes. I should ask them.
You should ask them why we're there.
I should take a photo of it, and then so I can bring it and say, hey, what's up with this? What's going on?
And be like, who picked this?
Yeah.
Which one of you staff picked this?
That was Jim Bob from the back. Well, let's talk to Jim Bob again. He's messing up on those labels.
Mary Lou didn't want to do it, but Jim Bob did.
Jim Bob did it. You can never predict things with Jim Bob, but you know what are you gonna do?
He likes that single barrel.
Yeah, he does.
He lost his teeth 8 years ago, so it's all he drinks is 8 years.
John, what do you think of it though? All of that aside,
I like it. It's simple.
Mm-hmm.
Is that an okay word to describe it?
It's
a simple kind of bourbon.
Yeah, it is a simple.
It's just a simple, good tasting.
It's a great tasting
bourbon.
I mean, I like the way it goes down, especially. That's probably the number one for me. I get that caramel. I get that.
I think because we've been doing the Amarana, the honey, like this
Yeah.
so far lately, it's a refreshing, simple.
It's a simple.
It's just a bourbon.
Mm-hmm.
An 8-year. Small batch.
Yes.
Single barrel.
Yes, I would have thought this was a 6.5-year, but. And you know what, though? Let me ask you this, though. A lot of times you'll say when you're drinking something, okay, that is something that's high alcohol. That doesn't taste like it's proof like this, you know? It tastes like a lot less. I think this is the opposite. I find that this actually tastes like closer to almost like a full proof or a barrel proof. Yeah, higher proof or barrel strength. Yeah. It's I don't think it tastes like a 94. I feel like it definitely tastes like maybe a 106 or something.
Yeah. Yeah, it's got a little kick. but it's smooth.
Yeah.
It's smooth. I like it.
Smooth operate. Yeah, it's good.
You know, my collection at home is a little more on the cheaper side.
Mhm.
You know, I have more local places.
Mhm.
I don't have much of like I don't have any of like the Elijah Craigs
Or
and the.
pick up a small batch,
You know,
though. It's a good one to
I
have.
think I will, and I think I'll look more sophisticated just with the bottle on my bar.
Oh yes,
Next to everything
you
else,
would,
right?
You would. I remember the one time our buddy Roy, who was living. I think originally he was in. Was it Delaware? Where's his sister live again?
Guy,
Yeah.
Delaware. Yeah.
Okay. And he had stopped at a store over there, and he knows I kind of know bourbon, and he's like, "Dude, Ken, what should I get?" You know?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. This was a couple of years when he first moved, I think it was. And he's like, "Oh, they're having Elijah Craig store pick one here, but it's like $2 more than the regular pick, or I forget. I think it was a little bit more money." I was like, "No, store pick's definitely worth it. You know, it's good to get a little variation on it, or you know, you could have a bunch of bourbons that are 94 proof, but they might be coming from different areas of the warehouse, different, et cetera, et cetera. So you can have, when they're doing a tasting, you could have 3 of that barrels that should be exactly the same, but they don't taste the same. Yeah. So that's a cool thing about getting those store picks when people are actually picking them, like liquor store owners, or even
They're tasting a bunch of different ones and they're just picking what they like. That
the best. Yeah, what they choose.
But you have to trust their palate.
Yeah, that's true. And that happens sometimes. I mentioned I buy from Somerville Super Saver a lot, and I trust those guys. Everything they pick is good. So that usually
Like you don't
will buy
want me
their picks.
picking for your store. You don't want my.
If you
store pick.
are picking, I want to see like a scale on it that says burn rate or something.
Yeah, burn. It's been a while since we did the burn.
Yeah, this is we done the burn rate. But yeah, this is good. It's solid. I think Elijah Craig. I mean, it's the the grandfather, great grandfather bourbon, right? So
Is he still alive?
I think he may have passed. But yeah, times have changed, man. As far as bourbon, as far as everything goes. I got to tell you this story. I recently, because we're going to Kentucky, I was like, I want to get I might get a new iPhone, but I'm like, let me get a new battery. Let me replace it so I don't have to worry. God forbid something happens. I know my battery's going to be pretty decent while I'm there. So I was like, I want to get my battery changed out and whatever. I've done this before. In the past with the Apple Store, it's taken like maybe 45 minutes. Okay, it is what it is. This time, they go to me, it could be about 3 hours. I was like, 3 hours?
3 hours?
Yeah, I mean, I'm fine with stopping for lunch and killing some time, but I don't want to shop the whole mall.
Yeah.
But I did my best. You know, I did what I had to do and hung out at the bar for a while. It was horrible.
Those bastards.
It was horrible. But here's the one thing. They have my cell phone. I'm sitting at this bar. What do you like?
What the hell did you do?
It was
you just stare at your drink?
a new experience for me because I was like, you don't realize out of habit how much within 3 minutes, 2 minutes, you go for your phone.
Yeah.
Because your mind is always it's almost an extension of your brain.
Yep.
You're like, okay, I can't think of that right now. You look at we do it on the podcast. Oh, what was the name of that? Oh, okay, let's look at that. You know,
even right before we came on, I just looked at my phone and you're like, "Are you all right?" And I was like, "Yeah, I don't know. I just needed to turn it on."
I need to look at.
I just needed to turn it on.
Yeah, it's nuts. I mean, it's really nuts that, and I actually sat there. Like I probably looked agitated. I wanted to tell the bartender I didn't have my cell phone
Can
just
I
so I
borrow
could
yours?
so I could seem normal. Like like it's normal to have your cell phone the whole time.
Yeah.
Because I was watching TV. It was nothing I was really that interested in. You know, you start doing things. It's like not having a cell phone on the toilet, and you start.
Yeah, I wouldn't even know what to do.
You're like, am I supposed to push now?
Yeah, what do I do?
And
the phone makes everything come out.
I know. Yes, it gets you excited.
Takes your mind off of what you have
it
to
stimulates you, and which in turn stimulates other things. Makes you go. And like I'll actually, like if this has, it's happened to me at home. Like I had to use the bathroom or something, or I thought I had to use the bathroom, and then I'm like, I go in there and I'm like, shoot, I don't have my phone with me.
I'll pull my pants right up. Even if something's coming out, I'll clinch.
And when that happens, I take my wallet out and I start looking at the business, cleaning it out. And I'm like, I don't need that. I don't need that. I have the garbage right there. I don't need that, you know, and just cleaning things out because we have a constant need to be stimulated.
Is that a good thing or a bad thing, though?
Not a good thing. That is for
No?
sure.
All right.
That is for sure. We've disconnected, man, as a world.
We have.
You can't listen to this. I went to lunch today, and I was just thinking about the whole thing with the cell phones and stuff, and I looked up. There was maybe 6 customers on the other side of the bar, all of them cell phone. I'm like, well, at least the bartender. Oh nope, bartender was texting on her cell phone too. I was like, this is the world right now. You have 6 friends probably hanging out, or guys, or whatever.
It's the world, man.
And no one's talking to each other, and it's sad. It's sad because we've become so programmed to look at our phones, and you can blame a lot of that's social media.
Yeah. I think on my side anyway, that's what I'm doing. I'm not checking, how my stocks are doing.
Mm-hmm.
I'm checking to see who's, who checked in on Facebook, who's taking a dump or who's eating at this restaurant.
Yeah.
I don't know why. It's just that's the way it is.
For me, I'm very involved with the bourbon. I'm always that's all I see is bourbon stuff.
I do have to say, like, me and you were in the backseat of an Uber recently, and we were able to talk almost the whole way. I did look at my phone a couple times.
Yeah.
Habit. But we were able to converse.
Yes.
Whereas some people are just like, it's complete silence.
But we can, because we are old school too. We got to keep that in mind as well. We didn't have cell phones growing up. We know how to do it. It was something that you don't think you'd need to be trained on, but maybe we just had enough training over time as kids and as basically into our teens before we even got our first cell phone. So, well, no, even later than that. What was I?
It was later than that.
Yeah, I was in my.
I mean, when I was 17, 18, 19, you want to talk to me? You got to beat me, baby.
Yeah, I had a pager.
You got to beat me.
I had a pager. I got my first cell phone, I think, at 18.
Yeah. So if you were 18, I was probably 20. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Yep.
It was about that. Yeah.
And then I had my beeper and my phone. You'd have to beat me and then I'd call you back.
Yeah. And I remember getting such a cool beeper, man. I was like, oh, man, this thing is awesome. You could actually see, like, the news on it and stuff.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. It was cool. Like, it scrolled the news, and it was tiny, and I was like, oh, this is great, you know? And
but then my first cell phone was like
the Nokia 5160, bro.
And then you had to open it up and pull up the antenna.
My parents had one of those little bit older school ones. It wasn't like that, not like the Zach Morris brick.
Yeah.
But it was like it had like the translucent glowing green buttons that you hit, and you were lucky sometimes if the call went through or if it didn't get dropped or you couldn't hear what they were saying.
Yeah. And if you broke your antenna, you were screwed.
Yeah. I remember let me tell you this. I remember it was our buddy Ruben, who's been on the show. I think he might have been one of my first friends to get a iPhone.
Okay.
And this was, iPods were the big thing. And they're like, we're going to create a phone with that capability, and you can talk on it, and you can take photos, and then you can do this, that.
I can't even recall when they came out.
Yeah.
I really can't.
It would have been maybe earlier 2000s, around there.
Mm-hmm.
And I probably early to mid, like 2005-ish, I would say, because that's when I had my business, and that's when Ruben got his iPhone. So smartphones came around that time. And I remember going to, I think, Ruben, and he was so into it, and he's like, I'm like, I didn't really know what it was. I didn't understand it. So it was nothing that I could say, I want one of those, because I just didn't really know enough. I'm like, dude, I make phone calls. Oh, wait, what?
Yeah.
Wait, you don't have Snake on your phone? Remember Snake? Snake was on the 51, the Nokias. It was a game. The snake went around. You can't, and you eat these bits. All right. Well, but yes, and I just didn't. I couldn't fathom what it would become.
Yeah.
And talking into anything that didn't look like a phone, at least like the original cell phones were kind of still look like phones.
They looked like portable phones. Yeah. Cordless phones in your house.
And then you realize eventually you're talking into a little square. It just changed what phones are.
Yeah, I mean, I when I started with the Nokia, I think everybody started with the Nokia.
Yeah.
And then I was big into the LG.
Yeah.
And the LG, but back then you popped it open and you either talk on the phone or use the light for a flashlight. You didn't text anybody.
Yeah.
You didn't take any pictures.
No.
I look back now and I'm like, man, I wish when I was in my early 20s my phone could take pictures. The things that would be on there would be insane.
But when we went on vacations when we were in our early 20s? What did we bring? What did I bring?
Disposable. I brought a disposable camera.
Oh, I actually had like one of those Nikons or something.
Yeah,
but
no.
the portable Nikons, not the.
Yeah.
I mean, like not like an SLR, which I do have an SLR, but just like the pocket ones.
Yeah, the ones that were like this thick. Not the one that went around your neck like you're a Chinese tourist.
No, yes, the one you can fit in your pocket.
Yeah.
I mean, mine got beat up. I brought it everywhere.
Yeah.
I took photos everywhere.
I was a disposable guy.
Oh, so you were still printing them?
Yeah, I'd have to go to what was it?
CVS?
No, the one on the corner next to where the CVS is now in Northampton.
Oh, yeah, I know.
Mr. Picture. Or something.
Yeah, I remember it. Yeah, I do remember it. But yeah, now I mean, this film's not even for cameras. It's really, unless you're a professional photographer, no one's using it.
Yeah, I don't even see. Yeah, no, I don't even see where you can buy.
Where you can do that, and you would send your pictures to get developed, and you get your envelope with the stack of pictures.
Yeah.
And
You want doubles or singles?
I might give a
Doubles,
couple away. Yeah, how much is the price difference? Okay, I mean, come on,
Yeah,
this
make
is a
it doubles.
no-brainer. Yeah, get doubles with this. Give them to friends, whatever. Yeah, it's so much has changed though, with as far as that, and I worry for our children. I do.
Yeah, I mean, I look at my kids. They're 13. They're on the phone 24/7 a day.
Yeah.
You want to watch a movie with Daddy? No, I'm on YouTube. You want to blah, blah, blah? No,
Yeah.
I'm on FaceTime. You want to do it? No, I'm playing a game.
Do you limit the screen time now or no?
I used to.
Yeah.
I don't anymore. I look at my kids where they get really good grades. They're doing very well.
Yeah.
They have plenty of friends.
Yeah.
They go out when they want to go out. They play sports. They're not showing me that maybe what they're doing is wrong and screwing them up. So I let them be the way.
I
If they
gotcha.
had bad grades or they were doing bad things, I would
Yeah.
maybe do something like that. Read a book. Don't do that.
Yeah. Are you worried though what they are seeing there? They can. I mean, any kid could have good grades. That's great and everything. But are you concerned about these Snapchats and all that stuff? Out there.
I am, and I do check up on their stuff. I have recently caught a couple things between, my daughters and their friends.
Yeah.
And I've contacted the parents, say, hey, like, your daughter's following this,
Yeah.
that I see, and I don't think it's appropriate. And they'll be like, thank you for telling me. And my daughters too on Snapchat, like, she was in some kind of group chat.
Yeah.
I'm like, who are these people? My friends. Who though?
Yeah.
Well, I don't know him, and I don't know her. This is blah, 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 but I don't know her. She invited me. I'm like, no, you're done.
Yeah.
If you don't know every single one of them, you're done.
Yeah. Yes, because you don't know if that's some creepy 50-something-year-old
So it
guy.
could be me on the other side of the phone.
Yeah. Yeah, you don't want it to be.
I had this conversation with a coworker. He an older kid. He recently got a date by just sliding into somebody's DMs. Me and my wife had this conversation. I'm like, what the hell is sliding into a DM? And she had to explain it to me. I had no clue what they were talking about. I didn't know what they were talking about.
Like,
you just see a random person's like Instagram post, and you just send them a message. Hey, I think you're cute. You want blah, blah, and start talking to them.
All right.
I wouldn't have the balls to do that, and you don't know who's on the other side of that.
Yeah. Yeah.
But this kid recently got a date just by doing that, talking to a girl never met her. You're going by what the picture looks like. But what if you show up and it's...
I don't know. Back in the day when people used to use like instant message, like AOL, the messenger or whatever, and that maybe was a little bit more common because we didn't have all the means of it. Nowadays, it's like, well, you just go on a dating site to meet guys or this or that.
It was the same concept with that messenger.
Yeah.
I did a couple screwy things, and a couple screwy things happened to me with who you think you're talking to on the other side of the computer, and it's not who it is.
What did Butch look like?
I'll be the first to admit it. I had an ex-girlfriend that she fooled me.
Yeah.
She pretended she was somebody else to see if I would buy into it. And I kind of sort of did.
Yeah.
And then I figured it out by some words she was saying. I was like, all right, this is I figured you out. And I played along with it.
Yeah.
But she was trying to catch me. It's
yeah.
It's the way of the world. It's the way the world runs now.
But it's...
You have to... I don't want to say you have to deal with it. You have to evolve with it.
But we have to also realize the kind of control. Like I said, I watched that film on, was it Netflix? It was about Facebook and everything. And the corruption and
Yeah.
what's going on there, what they're putting out there, what kind of like the information is being taken from every person and what they're using it for. It's pretty freaking scary, some of the stuff that when you
100%.
watch that documentary on it, and people who've worked for the company and that actually talk on it, and they're like, they tell you. And one of the questions they ask these people, I remember the one guy in particular, would you have your kids use whatever, and they're like, absolutely not, no way, because they've seen it all, they know what goes on.
The thing is, you can't stop it, and you either have to bunker down with no technology to get away from it, or learn how to deal with it. I mean, my phone I'm going to probably go home tonight and turn on my phone, and there's going to be like an advertisement for Elijah Craig, single barrel, small barrel. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because it's
so
listening
nuts.
to us.
I know, it's nuts.
So unless we shut it off when we're done making phone calls,
Yeah.
and don't touch it until we're ready to make another, we just have to get used to it and watch what you say and watch. I don't know.
Yeah, that's scary. What's going on with our phones that they can, like, I'm telling you, there's stuff I've never talked about before, brought up for a second, and then I see stuff pop up on my phone. I'm like,
100%.
what is going on here?
Even Facebook with like people
Yeah.
you may know. You'd
Yeah.
be like, I haven't seen what's his name in forever. And I'm going to go home and he's going to be people you would know on Facebook.
Yeah, it's creepy.
Serious?
It's creepy.
It's creepy. And Alexa, you have an Alexa or a Siri like in your
My
house? You got to
my
unplug
wife
it.
is very good with this. She puts everything. You have the mute button, so
I just unplug it.
Yeah, well, we put it on the mute.
If I want to play music, whatever, I'll plug it in.
Yeah.
But if there's no need for it, it's unplugged.
Yeah. But what was the one good thing? I don't know if it's a good thing because I haven't confirmed this yet. My wife was asking the other day. She's like, "Can I dial 911 with Alexa or call emergency services?"
I think you can.
Yeah.
Well, Alexa has developed over the years.
Yeah.
I do have an older Alexa, but I do think it has emergency services on it.
Because that was something that we thought about maybe for our son. It's not like back in the day you had the phone hanging on the wall. You ran to the phone. Our phones have. I mean, yes, you can dial 911 without having to. Put in your code, but is a young kid going to know exactly what to do during that situation?
I mean, I dialed 911 the other day. I was trying to take a screenshot, and I hit something too much, and all of a sudden it said SOS.
Yes.
And it was dialing emergency services.
Yes. So I turned one of my notifications off where I think it's like if you hold two buttons or something.
It's something, yeah.
And then I have it now where you have to press it like six times
think it's like
or something.
5 times in a row, but yeah.
Yes. And then, that's been set off too when I've had to hit my lock. Like, say I was at like somewhere where I couldn't have my phone, like you couldn't hear anything, so I hit the lock screen real quick, and then
all of a sudden, emergency services. How may I help you? What is your emergency?
Damn. Yeah.
So I don't know. I mean, it's that's a topic for the ages. I mean, is it good? Is it bad? People are going to debate that to the end of time, and the phones are just going to get smarter.
Well, now, I mean, we've heard about the whole implanting
smaller. Now they're getting
computer
bigger
chips and things like that. So that all you have to do is, I mean, come on, people, we can't be that lazy where we need to have things embedded in our skin so that we don't forget our credit card information or whatever they want to use it for.
I mean, even now with smartwatches, do you want a smartwatch?
No, I don't.
I don't either. But that's now you see people walking down the street and they're like,
yeah. So I the other day I was watching a video. Once again on Facebook, things pop up. A kid was crossing the street, and he's on his phone, and he got hit by a car.
Oh, was that the recent one in New Jersey? The hit by hit and run?
Yeah, I think that was it.
Yeah.
And then I felt bad for the kid.
Yeah, it wasn't his fault.
It was a stop sign. The person passed the stop sign. They hit the kid, but he was also
he didn't know.
He didn't know. He wasn't aware.
He couldn't embrace.
He
couldn't brace for impact.
Yeah, he was doing something on his phone. And poor kid, he got back up, and he seemed all right. But it's kind of
every kid you walk down after school, like on Ridge Road, where we're from. Every kid's head is as they're walking.
Yeah. And what as far as health goes, what's that going to do for vision? Eventually, are these kids going to have issues that we've never had with our vision, with our necks, with our backs? Anything that's involved looking down at a phone,
Yeah.
I don't know.
My neck.
My back.
Lick my...
And my... What do we got here, Johnny?
All right, so we're going to stick with the fall. I was didn't know if we wanted to do this maybe closer to Thanksgiving.
We kept the
or
pumpkins out for this one too.
But we kept the pumpkins out, and I
Yeah.
think it's time to do it. Ithaca Beer Company. It's a pretty well-known beer company.
Yeah, Ithaca, New
Are
York.
they sellouts? Or?
No, I don't think so. Ithaca, I had one. I think I put it on our Instagram page recently for Pub Suds and Grubs. It might have been the last post I did with the barbecue post. Maybe I think that one was Ithaca.
Okay. So this is Country Pumpkin.
Yeah.
I love a Country Pumpkin.
So there's a lot of people out there who are very anti-pumpkin. John and I, we can do a pumpkin here and there.
I like to do
I don't do pumpkin coffee though.
not hot. I can do it cold.
Cold?
For an iced coffee, I can do a pumpkin.
I've
Yeah.
tried it cold. I didn't like it.
I love a pumpkin donut though.
Pumpkin
Like pumpkin
donut.
munchkins.
I like
yeah.
pumpkin pancakes.
Pumpkin cheesecake.
I don't do cheesecake.
Well, yeah, that's right.
Pumpkin pancakes.
I could do that. Pumpkin pie.
Pumpkin
Pumpkin
pie.
bread.
I mean, pumpkin pie. That goes
Yeah.
without saying.
So this is there's no there's none. It's not there. But it's called Country Pumpkin.
Yeah.
It's got that pumpkin.
Yeah.
Look, right? It's not there.
The ABV's gotta be.
No.
That's weird. We usually 90% of the time.
We just can't see it and it's there, but I don't see it anywhere.
No, I don't think it is. Ithaca beer, Ithaca. But what were you gonna say, John? I'm sorry.
You want to look it up?
I'm gonna look it up while you're
Okay.
talking.
So nothing. I love a good pumpkin ale. Ithaca, I've only had a couple things from them, so I'm not familiar on if I liked what I had, but this
They have like
smells good.
Flower Power. That was a big one from them. Remember Flower Power?
Oh, because it's Ithaca, so they got that hippie stuff up there.
Yeah. But that was
Ithaca,
always.
isn't that where Road Trip, right, with Tom Green? Isn't that where they went to college, Ithaca?
Oh, it might have been.
Remember that movie?
Where are you going to? Austin, Massachusetts.
The cook at the diner, he's
Yeah.
licking the
Yeah,
pancake, and he put it in his
Horatio
pants.
Sands,
yeah,
yeah.
Horatio Sands.
6.3%.
6.3. All right, that's about in the wheelhouse. I
This is
think, of a
per
pumpkin.
Untapped, so
Right.
you know we're hoping that's correct.
Did you check in? You didn't even try it. You can't check in.
Nah, I didn't try it.
All right, let's
All
give it
right.
a shot.
Cheers.
Cheers. All right,
Yeah,
that's good. It's not as
finish is lacking a little.
yeah. It tastes almost a little flat, but it's not as much pumpkin spice as
I'm
I
looking
thought
for
it would be.
more pumpkin.
More pumpkin, but not as much pumpkin spice, though. I hate when the nutmeg, the allspice. I
Yeah.
hate when it's overpowering.
Yeah. Yes, I would compare this as far as taste goes, as far as pumpkinness goes. I would actually. I have the growlers here. I would compare it a little bit like a dogfish because dogfish is not overly pumpkiny.
Yeah.
It's more like to me that's more legit though in a way because you know sometimes like you get something like a Southern Tier, their pumpkin is like in your face pumpkin, and
Yeah, it's
you're
too
like
much.
yeah, and you're kind of like what kind of artificial crap are you putting in here to get that flavor?
Yeah.
What are you adding to it after the fact? I've made myself personally, I've brewed a pumpkin beer before. I actually took the pumpkins, I added the spice, I did all that fun stuff, threw it in the oven, baked it, added to my mash or whatever. And it was
Delectable.
it wasn't like, oh my God, this is pumpkin-y.
It was delicious.
It was good. It was
Yeah.
good. But it wasn't, like I said, in your face pumpkin-y because it was real pumpkins. I wasn't adding any like these artificial syrups that are pumpkin flavor.
I think I still have a beer bottle at home with your face.
Oh yeah.
With
I got a few hanging around somewhere.
I think it was a Christmas ale, though.
I used to have some down here. I probably moved them.
I think
But
it was a Christmas ale.
they're yeah, don't drink them.
No, it's just the bottle. I kept the bottle.
Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah.
But recently, me and Ken went to the Jersey City Craft Beer Festival, and I guess because it's that time of year, there was a lot of pumpkins.
Yeah, there was
and
quite
Octobers.
Yeah. By the way, people, we'll put a clip on there on the Instagram page. Check us out at PSG's Pub Suds
Speakeasy Podcast.
Speakeasy Podcast.
guys.
Oh God, I'm so all over the place
Yeah.
with that. This is the second time I've had to put that out there and I've screwed it up.
That's all right.
Speakeasy Podcast, guys.
On Instagram, follow, like,
Yeah.
check out our videos.
Yeah. Yeah,
we
got
put
some
clips up.
It's
Instead of adding our new format, instead of adding them in now, we're going to put it on our Instagram page.
Yeah, because we want people to check out everything. We do post on there once in a while. We have reels on there. And, yeah.
So if anybody follows us and they were at the Jersey City Beer Brew Festival, let us know what beers you like there.
Yeah.
There were a couple good ones.
Yeah.
There was some trash.
Yes.
But for the most part, everything was pretty good.
A lot of Jersey beers, though, which was cool. I like when they
yeah.
support the local, and you see a lot of local places in there. So, but yeah, it was. I felt like it was smaller this time.
Definitely smaller.
Yeah, because we've been to this one in the past, and and we had a clip on here one time from another Jersey City one, which is Bruisology, which is coming in February.
That'll
I
be in
think.
February. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if we'll do it or not or what, but
we had a good night. We Ubered in, right? We started at a couple places. We had an old fashioned.
We Ubered and suffered in.
Oh yeah,
this guy
you were suffering
had. I mean, it smelled like there was 30 air fresheners in there.
You had the one right in front of you in the seat.
Oh my god!
I didn't have that.
I felt like I was gonna vomit. I was like, "This is not cool." I don't like when there's like that many like random weird smells.
He drove 90 miles per hour down the street. He was going around cars, beeping, as he was on his phone the whole time.
Yeah,
I was scared for my life.
Yeah,
oh.
Yeah. But we made it there.
On
the way back,
the way back was another story.
The guy was making U-turns before he entered the Holland Tunnel.
He was like driving on one-way streets. He opted the wrong way.
Yeah.
He went to go just make a U-turn.
And John,
and the car started.
We're talking to the guy, and John goes, "You speak English?"
Huh?
No. And it turns out he spoke Spanish, which between the both of us, we know enough. Yeah. Where we had a kind of half-assed conversation with the guy. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. You love America? Oh yeah,
gringos, but yeah. but
yeah,
that was it was still. I think overall, I think we had a good time. Cool views, awesome views of the city right across the Hudson there. Yeah, it was nice. It was nice.
We hit a couple places after.
Yeah,
and we still got home at a decent hour. Look at us. We were good, responsible boys that night.
Yeah, we're just old and tired. So
couldn't hang.
One or the other, But yeah, this is pretty good here, though. I like this Ithaca one. I would say I would drink it again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well.
Yeah.
Anything else you want to?
Yes, people. I think we need to. Easier said than done. Relax on the craziness with the cell phones. Maybe. I feel like we're losing touch with the real world.
Yeah. You know, it's funny. I won't answer the phone anymore when somebody calls me, and then I'll text back and be like, did you call me?
Now I know. All right.
Because it's easier for me to do this. And then be like, hey, how are you?
I'm going to tell you this right now. If I usually text, but if I'm calling, it's because I don't feel like writing that much, and I need to talk on something real quick. So whenever I call someone, like a friend or something, I'm like, this is going to be quick. I just wanted to ask you.
Yeah.
I'm like, I just want to.
Will you ever talk to text? Be like, hey, you want to meet up at the mall?
Oh,
and then it's really like, hey, do you have smelly balls? Like, you know, like it just says what it wants.
Yes, it's so annoying. And then like you try to talk to text while you're driving because it's a safer thing to do. But then you look real quick to make sure it's right, and you're like, oh no, I gotta edit this and fix this. And it's almost easier if I just typed to begin with, you know. But I guess the easiest thing to do is, if you can, is pull over to the side of the road and just wait to text.
Positive thing is the newer, vehicles that are coming out have the ability to, tell you your text in the car. And,
yes.
And then you can talk what you want to say.
You try, yeah.
You don't really need to even ever touch your phone when you're in the car.
No, it's much
so they
better.
are trying to make it safe.
They are.
But I still think that takes away from your concentration. But, at least you're not. Yeah, although I'll go to work and I'll still see people as they're driving.
Oh, yeah. Or you see that it's always the guy that looks like a contractor that has the cell phone in his ear.
Yeah, I'm on my way.
Yeah, I'm coming here. He's got his pickup truck, and you're like, there's a type.
They're the old school guys.
Yes.
I hate this phone.
Or you can even tell even more when they have the older flip phone because that's. That was common with a lot of people who were like, what's a smartphone? I'm not getting a smartphone,
Or you get the guy with something in his ear and they're just talking and you're like, this guy's nuts. Who's he talking to?
That's happened to me before.
Right?
And I think they're talking to me and I'm like,
yeah.
Or I've thought that they were talking to themselves.
Yeah.
And I'm like, this guy, yeah, exactly.
I'll pick up the cucumbers.
Yeah.
What do you mean cucumbers?
I know.
I'm talking to my wife.
Yeah, but I think that we are, like I said, just going off my example, and I'm talking personally. I'm not making it sound like I'm any better than anyone else. When I had my cell phone battery being replaced and I had to sit without my phone, it's like I said, I had to have checked like 1,000 times, just even when you're leaving your house.
Oh yeah.
You'll check your cell phone before you check to see if you have your keys.
Yeah, yeah.
You know.
Yep.
Oh, cell phone's there. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm good.
No, it's true. And when you can't find that phone, if you put it down somewhere and you walk away and you're
It's
like,
like a panic.
Where's my phone?
Yeah, I know.
Where's my phone?
I know. Yeah, well, it's something that we're obviously aware of, and it's something that maybe we'd like to fix with ourselves personally. And
I think it's just it's the way of the world. So
Yeah.
we're on a plane. How does a cell phone work on a plane?
you have to put it in airplane mode.
Right. Then how do you use it?
You don't
And what's-
really.
Imagine being on a long flight and not being able to use your phone.
I have my iPad. Usually, I'll download stuff to like a movie or a show or something.
Yeah, that's what my wife said. Download a movie or something to your phone. And
Yeah.
just watch it. But
Yeah, and you can just watch whatever.
I can't imagine sitting there with no service.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll do TikTok for 3 straight hours.
Yeah, I don't use TikTok, so I wouldn't know. So,
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. Shout out to Ithaca Brewing. This is good. I like this pumpkin.
Yeah, good going.
Elijah Craig, one of the founding fathers there, and we're excited to let you guys know how the trip goes when we go. To Kentucky. Yeehaw! Actually,
We'll talk to you when we get back.
I don't know if they say yeehaw there, but yeah.
I don't think they say yeehaw. They probably say y'all.
Y'all, yeah.
But we have some surprises in store,
Yeah.
and you will see.
All right. John, cheers.
Speakeasy Podcast, guys, on Instagram.
Yes.
Like,
Check it
subscribe,
out. Check
comment.
out all the fun stuff we have on there.
We appreciate it.
All right. Cheers.